Cheating wife invited my boss while I was away on a trip. Reddit cheating stories. The moment I opened the security app and saw the live video feed, my heart didn't just drop, it shattered. There, in my living room, laughing like they owned the place, were my wife and my boss. The same boss who always told me he respected my dedication, the same wife who kissed me goodbye that very morning as I left for my business trip. I stared at the screen, frozen. Betrayal has a sound, silence. The kind you hear when your entire world collapses. My name is Daniel. I'm 34, and I thought I had the perfect life. A stable job, a beautiful home, and a wife, Mel, whom I loved more than anything. For years, I worked my fingers to the bone to give us a comfortable life. I took extra shifts, volunteered for work trips, and put everything into building a future for us. I thought she understood. I thought she appreciated it. I was wrong. The business trip was supposed to be 2 days, a simple client presentation in another city. That morning, Mel hugged me tightly, even packed me snacks, and told me she'd miss me. I remember smiling like an idiot, thinking how lucky I was. Hours later, while settling into my hotel room, I opened the home security app to check on a delivery scheduled for that afternoon. What I saw made my blood run cold. My boss, James. A married man. A man with kids. A man who had given me career advice, introduced me to executives, praised my loyalty. He walked into my house like it was nothing. He wasn't confused. He wasn't surprised. He knew exactly where he was going. And Mel, she greeted him in a dress she hadn't worn for me in months. They hugged. Too long. Too familiar. Then she led him to the couch. I ended the feed, sick to my stomach. For the rest of the night, I lay in the dark hotel room, staring at the ceiling, numb and shaking. I wanted to call her. Scream. Demand answers. But instead, I waited. Because anger is loud, but strategy is quiet, and I needed clarity. The next morning, instead of going to the meeting, I went straight to our. Not to expose the affair, not yet. But to quietly report irregularities in management behavior. A formality. A timestamp. A breadcrumb for later. Then I left the hotel, checked out early, and drove home in complete silence. I didn't storm in. I didn't cause a scene. I simply entered the house as Mel sat at the dining table scrolling her phone, acting as though her night had been ordinary. "Oh, you're early," she said, surprised. "How did the trip go?" I stared at her for a long moment. "Fine," I said. "How was your night?" She blinked. "Quiet. Just watched some shows." A lie with the ease of breathing. It wasn't until later, after she fell asleep, that I collected my proof. Security footage, audio recordings, messages synced from our shared tablet. The affair wasn't new. It had been going on for at least 2 months. Every late night at the gym. Every girls' night. Every time she encouraged me to take more work trips. All of it, a setup. My hands shook as I packed a bag that night and slept in my car. The next morning, instead of going home, I walked straight into HR again, but this time with everything. I didn't accuse. I didn't yell. I calmly explained that my boss had engaged in inappropriate conduct with an employee's spouse, creating a hostile work environment and abusing his position. The room went silent. What followed was a full formal investigation. HR couldn't ignore the evidence. He was suspended within 48 hours. Eventually, he resigned, for personal reasons. His reputation was destroyed in the industry. His marriage, according to whispers, barely survived. As for Mel, I confronted her only after everything with work was handled. When I walked into the house with a folder of printed evidence, she denied it at first. Then she cried. Then she blamed me, my work schedule, my dedication to the job, my emotional distance. The excuses piled up like debris after a storm. I didn't argue. Sometimes silence is the loudest answer. I filed for divorce that week. She begged. She pleaded. She promised therapy, change, a new start. But I wasn't interested in rebuilding something already ruined. A home once broken can be repaired, but trust once shattered turns to dust. The divorce was messy, emotional, exhausting, but freeing. Months passed. Slowly, I rebuilt. I focused on healing, learning, rediscovering myself. I picked up old hobbies, spent time with friends, traveled, and eventually transferred to another branch of the company, one where I wasn't known as the guy whose boss slept with his wife, but as Daniel. Just Daniel. Life didn't magically become perfect, but it became mine again. One day, while sitting at a cafe reading, a woman approached me. She recognized me from a volunteer group I had joined. We struck up a conversation, then another, and another. Over time, she became a friend, then a confidant, and finally, something more. Not all endings come wrapped in a perfect bow, but some new beginnings grow quietly, patiently, exactly when you need them.